Good evening everyone, my name is Isabella Cruz. I'm 22 years old. And tonight, I'm standing here not just as a singer or a speaker. I'm standing here as someone whose life was forever changed by the words of a man the world knows as Pope Francis. I grew up in a small neighborhood in Texas. Raised by my mother. We didn't have a lot. We didn't have grand celebrations. But what we did have were stories. Stories of people who mattered. Stories of people we had lost. But as I grew older, I realized something. In our world, people forget too easily. They forget the elderly. They forget the ones who carried the weight before us. And honestly, for a long time, so did I until I heard Pope Francis speak. I remember sitting in my bedroom, feeling lost, and then hearing him say, "The elderly are not a burden. They are a treasure, our living memory." Those words hit me like a wave. It made me think of all the grandparents I never got to meet. The wisdom I never got to hear. The hands I never got to hold. I realized that forgetting the past isn't just sad, it's dangerous. Because when we lose our roots, we lose ourselves. Pope Francis didn't just talk about respect. He talked about presence, about listening, about being there, even when the world moves too fast to notice. Because love doesn't rush. Love sits down. Love listens. Love remembers. And through his teachings, I started volunteering at nursing homes. I sat with grandmothers and grandfathers who hadn't had visitors in years. I listened to their stories, of wars, of weddings, of dreams, of regrets, and in their wrinkles, in their tired voices, I found something I didn't even know I was missing. I found home. Pope Francis taught me that mercy is not weakness. It's strength. The kind of strength that rebuilds broken hearts and forgotten dreams. So tonight, every word I speak, every breath I take, is because a humble man in white robes reminded the world, and reminded me, that the ones we think are behind us are actually holding us up. Thank you, Pope Francis, for teaching me how to love better.
There's a voice that whispers in the silence of stories no one takes the time to hear. Hands that built the bridges we now walk on. Eyes that still remember every tear. They gave us songs without a stage, dreams stitched into every page. And somewhere in their broken lines, we find a piece of yours and mine. They built our tomorrows with hands worn thin. They carried our sorrows with a prayer and a grin. They are not forgotten, they are not small. They are the roots, they are the walls. So don't turn away, don't let them fade. They built our tomorrows with the love they made. There's a face behind every silent corner, a song that never made it to the light. But Pope Francis told the world to listen, said their silence holds the loudest fight. They are the living memory, the beating heart beneath the tree. And when we hold their stories near, we bring tomorrow closer here. They built our tomorrows with hands worn thin. They carried our sorrows with a prayer and a grin. They are not forgotten, they are not small. They are the roots, they are the walls. So don't turn away, don't let them fade. They built our tomorrows with the love they made. We owe them more than just a glance, more than a whisper, more than chance. We owe them songs, we owe them skies. We owe them every sunrise. They built tomorrows, and they still stay.
Isabella, there are performances that entertain us, there are performances that impress us, and then there are performances that remind us who we are. Tonight you gave us the third kind. You didn't just sing a song, you didn't just perform a tribute, you held up a mirror to every heart sitting here and showed us the faces we forgot to look at, the ones who carried us, the ones who prayed for us before we were even born, the ones who quietly and without applause built our tomorrows. Your voice tonight, it wasn't just beautiful, it was necessary. It was a voice that said, don't forget the ones who made you. In a world that moves faster every day, that prizes new over old. You stopped time. You took us back to kitchens filled with laughter, to hands folded in prayer, to stories told under starry skies. And somehow, you made it feel like those hands were still holding us, still loving us, still fighting for us. You honored not just Pope Francis tonight. You honored every grandmother, every grandfather, every forgotten soul sitting in a room somewhere, waiting for someone to say, you are still seen, you still matter, you are still loved. And Isabella, through your voice, through your heart, you became that someone tonight. Your presence was pure, your message was timeless, and your spirit was absolutely unforgettable. I don't think I was the only one holding my breath during your song. And honestly, I don't think I'll ever forget it. Because music isn't just about notes and melodies. It's about memory. It's about carrying the people we owe everything to. Even when the world forgets their names, you did that tonight. For them, for all of us. Thank you, Isabella, for reminding us that we are never too young to remember where we come from. You didn't just build a moment tonight. You built a bridge between generations, and that is a gift bigger than any golden buzzer. Thank you.